Hello, good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to another live. Welcome to another Sunday. Today is the 11th of April, 2021. And of course, I am your girl, the iconic advisor, Shernette Clark. And I am a licensed financial advisor with the FSC right here in the beautiful island of Jamaica. I know I have persons on from various countries and region, and I hope the information that is shared here that it also help with you or your relatives and friends here in Jamaica. How are you all doing? I hope you are all doing well, keeping safe and staying in touch with family and friends. Of course, I have an awesome topic for you today. No guest today, just me. And it's always fun with just me anyway. And if you have any questions, I'm going to invite you just to post those questions. Any comments, you post them also here in the comment section. And I'm giving you some times about a time, rather, about a minute or two to invite your friends and family on. Go ahead and share the page, those on Facebook, those on LinkedIn, those on YouTube, whomever. Go ahead and share the information because I have made myself accessible here on YouTube. Now, today it's about credit card. You may have seen the ad before the live, credit debt versus debt. So it's DEBT rather, and DEATH. So which we're going to decide on which is best for you or which is best for me in terms of how we handle our credit cards. I want to remind you to like the page, the YouTube channel, share the information that is placed here on a weekly basis. And most importantly, your subscription is important. Go ahead and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell whenever it is video is uploaded, that you'll be the first, or whenever I go live, you'll be the first to be informed. Now, I want to welcome everyone. Whenever it is that you get on, if you're watching the live, you can hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, when it is you decide to watch it, then you can hashtag replay. Of course, I crave your responses and your comments. I'm also going to give you guys the opportunity of any topics that you'd like to see share here, that you can go ahead and make suggestions. Whatever expert I can find in that field, I'll bring them on if I'm not able to somewhat expound on the topic that you suggest. Welcome, Rachel Young. Thank you for joining in. Go ahead and share the page. Of course, I'll be talking about credit card. And as I said before, hope the information is relevant for those here in Jamaica and the diaspora, whatever region, continent you are, that information will be valuable. And persons may be wondering, what's a credit card? And you may deem a credit card as something that is prestigious, or you're in the upper class, or whatever you think about it. But the word credit is a word credit. It means that it is a liability. It means that you have an added loan. So credit card is a type of unsecured liability that is incurred through evolving credit card loans. So you may have one credit card. You may also be using one credit card to pay off another credit card. And hence you have various accounts. When you have a Visa, you have a MasterCard, you have two MasterCard, whatever it is a loan. So you're borrowing. If you have online banking, for example, you have a savings account, you have a credit card, you're going to see that the savings account is saying savings and the credit card, it says borrowing. So it means that you have placed yourself with an high interest loan. It means that you also need to shop around, guys, because there are various banks, various financial institutions that offer credit cards, and you will see special of no fees and low fees in terms of acquiring the card. But when you have acquired a card, now what is the interest I'll be paying on what is it that is outstanding? So for example, if you have a credit card with a limit of $500,000 or 500 US or 1,000 US, now you spend $100,000 or 100 US off that card, and you only pay back $10 US or 10,000 Jamaican. The interest that you'll be paying on is the amount that is still outstanding. So the 90,000 or the $90. You'll be paying interest on that. So you want to be, even though they may give you a minimum amount when you use the card, you want to pay the minimum. And if you can't pay it off, plus some more, pay as much as you can. So you pay less interest on what is outstanding. Now, the interest on some of these credit cards that have research in Jamaica, you see some at 30%, 47%, 52%, 57%. What is the interest rate you're paying on that card on your outstanding amount? You need to know that. And if it has been increased, you need to know that too. No, you can't. This to me is like wasting money because the more you're paying minimum on that card every month, you're still going to be owing if you don't pay that card off. And sometimes you can't afford to pay that card in lump sum. Now, you may be stuck with that card because if you close the card to pay it as a loan, you won't have that credit card after you close it. And if you don't pay off the card, your name will be at the credit bureau because it is a loan and it is going to affect other loans in the future. Now, I have made some tips in order to help you to get rid of this card or to pay off this card. And we use the word emergency frivolously. I have it for an emergency. Lunch is not an emergency. A pair of shoes is not an emergency. A dress that I saw that I like is not an emergency. It can be medical. I would say groceries are okay because you can pay that back at the end of the month when you get paid. So if it is that your grocery bill is $50,000 and you swipe $50,000 off the credit card, you need to budget for that $50,000 at the end of the month to pay back that credit card. Now, our credit card have a 30-day cycle. So if you use a card on the first, well, it depends on your date. It has a 30-day cycle. So let's say your credit card is due the 15th of every month. You know that by the 15th, if you use it the first of the last and use it the first of the month, you need to make sure that payments are made. So it's the 15th to the 15th. But if you made a purchase close to the 15th, it's going to be calculated in that cycle, you know. So it's in the 30-day cycle. So you have to know your credit card cycle. And you have to make the payments within that cycle. You must know your statement date. You must know your cycle. You must know when your payments are due. You must know the minimum. And as I said before, pay a little bit over the minimum if you can't pay off. I have clients who have never paid interest on their credit card. Never, ever, ever. You know why? They know the cycle, they know the date, and they pay off everything. They budget for it. Now, if you're not able to do that, you need to make arrangements with your credit card company, with your bank. How is it you're going to pay this amount off? So they'll allow you to pay some lump sum, and I've made some notes here for you. So let's say, for example, your card is 150,000 balance and you have used it up, and now you're looking at maybe $225,000. So you pass your limit now because your interest caused the card to be in the 200 and odd. So you're over limit. They're charging you for over limit. They're charging you for late payments. They're charging for the outstanding balance. So those payments can rack up so fast every month. So you have to stop the bleeding. You have to stop it now. Don't use the card anymore. Stop using the card. So whether you're going to cut up the card or stop taking the card in your wallet or in your purse, leave the card at home if you can't control yourself, or cut up the card. And you need to stop the bleeding, stop spending. Now, the arrangement that you're going to make, they're probably going to say you need to pay maybe a 30% no, or a 20% no. So let's just say they tell you to pay $30,000 no. This is what you need to pay no to take off what is owed now, minimum, and what is owed this month. But for the next 10 months or for the next year, or however you can pay it, or the next 6 months, or the next 6 months, or the next 9 months, or the next 12 months, you're going to decide that you're going to be paying $15,000 or $18,000 per month until this card is clear and you're not going to be using. As a matter of fact, I don't think you'll be able to use the card. At that point, when you reach that level, the card will be blocked. Allow this process. Trust me. Allow the process. No, you're gonna be paying 18 or 15,000. Make the arrangements where you can and make those monthly payments. Don't touch a card for a year until it is paid off, and start afresh. If you're not able to handle it, can't just close the card. Finish paying, you don't need a card anymore. Cut up the card, get rid of the card, or no, you start the budgeting and the discipline. You can give yourself second chances, but if you can't handle it, get rid of the card. Now, I gave you some tips. How it works. Step one, make the minimum payment on all your accounts. So the credit card is the issue. So if it is, that is another loan. And if you can make a little extra, so put as much as extra money as possible to the account within the highest interest rate. So the credit card, we know it's high. We know the credit card is high, and you have to budget, guys. If it is more than one, you need to make a list. And what I have been doing each month, I set a goal. I have a different goal each month. And if I didn't achieve it in March, it is carried forward into April. And I must achieve that in April. If it's not, then it's going to go to May. So you pace yourself how you can manage it. Number three, once the debt with the highest interest rate is paid off, start paying as much as you can on the account with the next highest. So you move from account to account, how you can manage it, guys. So you don't, press yourself and leave yourself empty in case of an emergency. You have some funds to play around with, or you have some funds that while you're paying, you're saving, while you're paying, you're surviving. And how, if you can't manage it one time, stretch the payments so you don't have too much added stress on yourself, guys. It is accomplishing, and it's step by step and discipline that you're going to accomplish this. And don't be too hard on yourself. I have made those mistakes, and these are things that I have done to get myself out of these debts. Now, how to reduce? The best way to reduce your credit card debt, which is DEBT. Because now you're dying. You're in DEATH as far as I'm concerned when you have this exorbitant amount owing on your credit card. First, call your credits, as I said before, to lower, or see how best you can lower the rates, or see how much payment you can do to lower the payments on a monthly basis. Prioritize your debt. So let's say you have paid off at least 50%, you can probably renegotiate to lower these payments now that you have paid off a vast amount, and then it is that you can accomplish other goals that you have set. So I know, for example, if the credit card company gives you a year to pay it off and you pay off the lump sum one time, it doesn't mean that you'll be allowed to use the card, because you have agreed to pay it off over a 12-month period in which at that point the card would have been blocked. So even if you pay it off, you wouldn't have access to the card. So if that is what is going to help you from using the card, you can pay the lump sum and forget about it for a year. Or I would continue the payments, because the payments are set. There are no added interest or increase once you're consistent with the payment. Then you can find ways to invest that excess lump sum that you would have placed on the card somewhere else that it could be growing. And a part of that could also assist with the payment on the credit card. Many ways to do it. I had said prioritize the debts already. Streamline your budget to maximize cash flow. You have to make a list, guys, because as I said before, don't go ahead and dump the lump sum on the card if the arrangement you have is to complete it within 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, and it's in so doing the card would have been blocked. You wouldn't have usage of the card anyway. So if you can channel that excess fund to somewhere else that would be letting your money work for you while you're paying that debt, you can also be using interest from the money working here in an investment or a saving account to channel to pay the credit card debt. Pay as much as possible on one debt, then the minimums on the others, so you have money to flex around with. And in doing so, guys, all of us, we can knock the debts them down one by one. Consequences in not paying off the credit card. If you don't pay your credit card bill, expect to pay, as I said before, late fees, receive increased interest rates, and incur damages to your credit score. Not just in America now, but Jamaica. It affects your future loans, as I had said before, doing business the way forward. I think most of these outstanding loans or paying loans badly or not off will affect you like for 7 years. it's going to take you a while if it is that you're interested in doing business with other companies. If you continue to miss your payments, your credit card will be frozen. Your debt could be sold to a collection agency, and the collector of your debt could sue you and have your wages garnished. Now, we don't go that far in Jamaica, but once you have a collector collecting on behalf of the company, the fees are going to be increased. I know for car loans now, your car would be repossessed, your house can be auctioned. So it depends on how deep you're in. So you want to make sure that with budgeting, and guys, I told you before that a colleague of mine have created a spreadsheet in Excel that you are able to list all your income, all streams of income, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, how many, and also list your expenses, your investments, your insurance, your NIS, your NHT. And for those who are living in the US, we can adjust it to fit your taxes, that you enter that information and you're able to see your loans, your liabilities, everything, where you can see where you have surplus or deficits, where you can do the adjustments if you want to have a visual of that, where you're able to manage, where you're able to channel funds into areas that they're not going, where you see where your money can work best. And in doing so, you're able to manage monies coming in, monies going out, to know exactly where they are, where you can do adjustments. So you're keeping more of your money in investments or in your pocket than you're spending too much. So that is how you can accomplish that on the spreadsheet. Or if you have a book, list it in your book. Use up your pen and paper. Or if you can create a spreadsheet in Excel, I have created a simple one. If you can do that, then you're able to see monies coming in. And as I said before, my calendar this year, because our company created a lovely flip one with you can list your goals, where all my expenses or all my goals and what I need to achieve at work to cover those goals are listed. And once I hit number one, I tick number one. Once I hit number two, I tick number two. And you set them based on priority, whatever you want to kick first of the list, you put it at the top and you put it in red or whatever it is. So your eyes are focused on that. So you know that the goal is that this month, and you hit them down. And it doesn't make sense we're paying these high loans, guys. It's better we set the goals, and if we're setting the goals on what we want, we save towards it. Jamaicans, we know about partner. Partner is a sort of loan, but it's a very minimal interest loan. You pay back every month, but nothing is being confiscated. If you drop off, they just give you back your money and kick you out, basically. But I see where you have nothing to lose, where that is concerned. After it's done, you have some may last for a year, some last 6 months, some last 9 months. But to me, that works better than taking out a high interest loan that you're going to be paying for 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6, 7 years. And when you look back, you notice the item that you purchased, you pay for that 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. So I bought a car in 2015, and at the point when I purchased that car was at 3.850, and you get a 7-year loan, and of course the payments are awesome and you're happy about your new car. But when you check up the payments over 7 years, I bought it for 3.8. The car, when you're done paid, you pay 4.6 odd million for the car. So what could I have done with that extra money? What could I have done? The fact that I have experienced a new car, scent and smell and taking off the plastic, I don't need to do that again. That's my goal. What is your goal? I don't need to drive a new car again. A reliable car, yes, it has to be nice because it has to represent me, but I don't need this exorbitant loan. I need to channel that money somewhere else in terms of investing. Based on my experience in 2019 and 2020 and 2021 is no different. We have to think and save wisely and invest into areas that are going to be beneficial to our children and our children's children in terms of generational wealth. What are we going to be passing down to our children? Loans, deficits? Are we going to be passing on wealth and surplus? What? So it has to start with us in terms of how we handle our funds the way forward. in terms of achieving the goals and the dreams. We can't tell our children to save, yet we're not saving. We can't tell our children to stop wasting, yet we are wasting. Yes, we work hard for our money. And yes, we need nice things. But if it is that you are going to be taking out a loan and paying whether 100,000 per month or 50,000, you must have a system backup, an investment that is covering that goal or that car or that loan. You must have a backup plan. So if you take out a loan for $1 million, all I'm saying is you must have an investment with at least $1 million in there. If you're going to buy something for 10 million alone, you must have a backup plan with 10 million in there that is spilling out that interest to pay that loan. What's your goal? What's your why? Now, I want to thank you again this and every Sunday for joining me on the live, listening to Financial Planning, Generational Wealth, your iconic advisor, Shernette Clark. I want to remind you guys to observe the protocols of washing up the hands, wearing up the mask, watch your distance. And guys, just be patient and love on each other. Call your family and friends who you have not heard from in a while. Persons are going through a lot. Persons are depressed. Persons are lonely. Touch base with them. And of course, I want to remind you to stay safe, stay focused, and to stay strong. And always remember to like and share the information that is shared here. Remember to subscribe to the channel, The Iconic Advisor. And of course, remember, walk good. Love you guys. Thank you once again. See you next Sunday, same time at 4 p.m. when we'll be speaking generational wealth. Not sure what the topic is, but you have to watch to see what it's all about. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I so do intend to.